Appreciate you coming by to Monday, or Wednesday, I should say. It's usually Monday. Wednesday to take a look at our 2025 class. I think we got a doozy for you. Just to get into it quick, the first thing I'd say is it takes a lot of different hands and people and minds to put on a great weekend and showcase the University of Pittsburgh in this city, and just all the people it takes. So I just want to, obviously, like I normally do, just give some thank yous out there. First one, thanking the University of Pittsburgh. The things that we have on this campus, in this facility. You talk about, the Oaklander, where we put our kids up in his first class. Staying at the, eating breakfast at the porch. I mean, all these different things. The admissions committee that takes care of our kids and on a daily basis and make sure that we're getting what we need and just making sure we got the right people coming in. The faculty, when we go to the porch in the mornings, probably a lot of things I haven't mentioned in the last 9 years or 10 years, the faculty reps that come help us talk to our kids about what we have to offer academically at the University of Pittsburgh. I think we're in this world of playing football and Acrisure Stadium and all that, but it's like there's so much more that goes into it. And the faculty that comes in there with passion and energy to talk about what they have in their particular field of interest academically, I think is huge. So, everything we have to offer on campus. I mean, beautiful campus that we're proud of. I'd like to thank academics. Mike Farabon, his crew, everybody that works right here in this building and over at the Peterson Event Center for all the work they do. On those weekends, because it's not easy, and there's some long weekends, and our life skills is well helping there. I'd like to thank the city of Pittsburgh. You think about, we got one of the greatest cities in the world to showcase when kids come on campus. Thank Terry Warginis, who runs the Gateway Clipper. Usually on I guess it's a Friday night or Saturday night. We jump on that Gateway Clipper and take a little ride down the river and head over to a dinner at Acrisure Stadium. And thank Acrisure Stadium for the amazing meals they put on and everything they do for us there. The incredible restaurants that we also have in Pittsburgh that we are able to showcase when recruits come on campus. We got kids coming from all over the place. They come into Pittsburgh and go, wow. And again, obviously the people in Pittsburgh, because no matter where you walk, it's part of the weekend. And when you meet the people, the friendly people of Pittsburgh, whether it's walking from one restaurant to another or walking to different places, I think the city of Pittsburgh and the people in the city are what it's all about. So I thank everybody there. Obviously, I thank our coaches, and we'll have our coaches in here today to showcase our class. Just do it a little bit different way, shake it up a little bit. But I'll briefly introduce the class and the notes on it. But I'll have those guys kind of hit their position, which is kind of something we do later on with the video. We won't do a video today, but I think it's special to hear from them, the guys that are going to coach them on a day-to-day basis. But I thank them and their families. We've got a lot more younger children on this staff, and it's not easy getting babysitters for 2 nights and recruiting weekends and having their wives come help us to talk with the moms on a Friday and a Saturday night. It's a special week. I mean, the time we spend with these recruits and these families, and the time that our families and coaches spend away from their families is critical. I'd like to thank our players. We have player hosts that take our guys around, show them what it's like. They get up to the Bridge on the Forge, which is where our kids stay. All our young kids. And I thank them for everything they do and the time they spend with them. I thank all of our recruits and their families, for the time they spend, on the phone with the coaches and looking at the University of Pittsburgh and the trust they had in sending their child here, their son, to the University of Pittsburgh to spend with our family. So we appreciate that. And then I'd like to thank all the high school coaches, administrators, principals, everybody involved, that make it so easy for our access into those schools, even though it's not as easy as it used to be, where you can just walk in now, your ID, and got to go back to your car, get your driver's license. If you forgot, you're not getting any high school without it. But thanks for all the support we have when we walk in those high schools to recruit these young men. So with that, we'll get into class a little bit. We have 21 high school seniors that will sign. Again, we've got 12 signees on offense. We've got 4 offensive linemen, 3 receivers, a tight end, 3 running backs, and a quarterback. 9 signees on defense, 3 D linemen, 2 linebackers, 2 cornerbacks, and 2 safeties. We've also got 14 of them are mid-year. So the 21, 14 are mid-year, which you guys know how important that is. You guys will get a peek at them in the spring. Major advantage for them academically to come in here early, have an opportunity to get their feet on the ground academically, which I think is huge. selling point as far as just getting, you got 20 days, 15 days of spring practice, but maybe a month of football. But the rest of it is really focused on, you're getting a lift and a run in, and it's not the stress of a college football season, I think. So to get into our 14 mid-years, we have 7 on offense, 7 on defense, so it's nice to balance that out. The first one is quarterback Mason Heinschel, running back Jakarian Turner, excited about him. Wide receiver Bryce Yates, wide receiver Tony Kinsler, wide receiver Cameron Sapp, tight end Max Hunt. We got 1 offensive lineman coming in, Akram Lonogmi. We got a DN coming in, really 2 defensive ends coming in, Julian Anderson and Denham Cook. We have 2 linebackers coming in, Justin Thompson and Emmanuel Taylor. We got 1 safety coming in, we got Josh Guerriere. We got 1 corner, Sean Lee. We got 2 corners, Sean Lee and Mason Alexander. So those are the guys that are being mid-year. We're excited to have those 14 guys and 7 on offense, 7 on defense, okay? The rest of the class, we have 7 more guys. Again, our coaches will get into more details and you guys can ask them questions on these young men. But the ones that will come in later on, we got 5 offensive guys coming later with 2 defensive guys. We got running back Sinquan Smith, another running back Jalen Brown, offensive linemen, 3 of them, Shep Turk, Torian Chester and Jordan Fields, defensive tackle Trevor Summers, and safety Cole Woodson. So those are our signees for the year. And again, coaches will get in and spend a little bit more detail. Just to give you a little bit more notes on our class, again, of those 21 signees, we got them from 9 states and 1 from England. We got 7 from Florida, 3 from Virginia, 2 from Pennsylvania, 2 from Ohio, 2 from Georgia, 1 from Maryland, 1 from Texas, 1 from New Jersey, 1 from Indiana, and obviously 1 from England. Again, the first signee was Akram at 2 a.m. This morning. I think Coach got an early call. Coach Darbo got a real early call on that one. So that's a special one. He's the first one in. And then, here, the last one in was Mason Alexander from Indiana at 8:42. So, I mean, this class was prompt getting it done. We asked them to get it done before 9, and they got it done. But, I think the one thing that stands out about this signing class or this signing year is we're sitting in here on December 4th talking about it. Usually it's maybe a week before Christmas. It's a lot longer. Coaches have a chance to go on the road and get in these homes. And I think maybe with the smaller crowd in here, we talked about just the difference in the recruiting year where we're not able to go in these homes and be be where they came from, see how they grew up. All those, I think that's one thing we're missing in this class. We've pretty much got 3 contacts with all these individuals that we've signed, these 21 men here. So I think it's a different class that way, which you guys know I'm not a fan of. It's about the people, and we like to get around the people. I like them to be around us as much as possible, but that's what we're dealing with the new landscape and new calendar of college football. So the other thing of note is we had 31 official visitors on campus, and we got 19 of the 31 on official visitors. So that's like a 61% hit rate, which I think again showcases what the University of Pittsburgh is. What the University of Pittsburgh is, and what the city has to offer as far as when kids come on here. And I don't know if I've got that rate every year, but there's a time where it's like 70%, and I'm sure of the guys that didn't choose Pittsburgh, they didn't. There were some top spots. We brought some unbelievable talent here on campus in the month of June. So we've also had those 21. Over half of them, 11 of them are captains of their class. So I think we got a tremendous group academically. I talked about the admissions committee earlier. We're recruiting student athletes. We're not just recruiting athletes. To get into the University of Pittsburgh, it's not an easy thing, and that admissions committee helps us out. They listen to who our players are, who they are as people, and I think that's a critical thing. So again, I thanked them earlier. I'll thank them again. But probably one of the best classes we brought in academically as well, because we know how important that is. It's not football for the rest of your life. So with that, I'll open it up for questions.
Considering all the things you just said about the lack of home visits and the landscape of college athletics and recruiting today, was it harder to secure this class and get these kids off the foot?
This was a great group. This is a group we signed of 21. It was not hard to sign them at all. Did you wish you had another opportunity to go in there and maybe secure a couple more? No question about it. I think that would have helped us, because I think again, I think the signing date needs to move from December to June. Okay, I can't believe it didn't move this year already. It makes absolutely no sense to bring kids in the month of June and then wait 6 months to sign them. Okay, they forget who you are. They forget, we know you guys forget what happened from week to week. But like they forget how important, what the whole thing was like. So to me, it used to be, your last visits were in January and first, Wednesday in February, old school way. That was the best way to do it. I mean, kids visited last week in January and then they signed. Whether you visit in December or January, we just got to get the calendar moved right. But it's a mess right now, as the NCAA is.
Akram and Moritz last year. I mean, how new is international recruiting, and how much has it kind of expanded over the past few years or so?
Yeah, I think when you look at some of the rosters of who we play, when you look at about the academic part of it and trying to find, I mean, you think about the size of some of these countries out there, whether it's Germany or London or wherever it is, Italy for that matter, with Haba Baldonado. There's players out there, and you got to search and find them. I think we got a tremendous football player in Akram, and we're excited to get him here. So you got to reach out and find where you think some of the best are going to be, and then as coaches we got to develop them, right? It comes down to developing them as well. But you got to go find those guys that fit what you want athletically, and then you got to coach them up and teach them.
4 offensive linemen, all 4 of them 6'5" or taller. Was that an emphasis for you guys to find bigger men to kind of play offensive tackle, or is that just kind of how it worked out with the guys that you found?
I think it's a great question for Coach Darrow when he introduces his guys. But Chris, I think we like them all big, right? Sometimes you get a big, sometimes you don't. Depends on the year. But you look at Coach Darrow; he's a big, tall guy, so he likes them tall. As long as we can get them, and they're able. So I think we got an excellent class that can come in here and get it done.
Any other broad-based questions for Coach? Okay.
Good.
Thank you very much.
All right. Who's up next? Who's up?